Hello, epic human. I am so happy that you're here. Today, let's talk about one of the most overpromised and underdelivered concepts in the self help world. Yep, I'm talking about closure. You've all heard the word, right? It's that thing that you think you need before you can finally move on. Spoiler alert, it's a trap. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, if I could just have one last conversation with them, I'd feel better. Whether them is your ex, a former friend, or even someone who's died, we start imagining the perfect conversation. We have the lines memorized. We're like acting, right? And I'm going to say, and then they're going to say, we are planning our mic drop moment. We're like, and it's going to be so good. In our heads, they react exactly how we want, right? They validate us, they apologize, they hug, we all cry, everything's fine. But here's the problem. Even if you did get that conversation, chances are you'd walk away and your brain, your inner warrior, would still say, oh, wait, I forgot to say this. Or, that that didn't quite work out how I wanted it to. Why didn't I bring up this thing? Why didn't I say that when they said this? Your inner warrior is going to have a field day with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas because closure isn't that neat little bow that you tie around your pain. Closure is like the horizon. Every time you think you've reached it, it moves. And even worse, womp womp, closure actually puts your healing in someone else's hands. It's like saying, hey, could you hold my peace of mind for me? Oh, and I'll just wait here until you decide that I can have it back. That's a really dangerous game to play, don't you think? Completion is something completely different. Completion says, hey, I decide that this chapter is done. I don't need anyone else's permission, and I am going to give myself the ending that I need. I was recently listening to a podcast and I heard Courtney Weber say something that I was like, what? Rewind. She said, if you're waiting for closure, or if you're not giving yourself closure, in the meantime, you're delaying your healing by putting it in someone else's hand. Exactly. And you, my dear, you deserve healing. Well, if you're listening to my podcast, I'm guessing that's why you're here, because that's my whole shtick. Like, I help humans heal. This is the soul wisdom for the stressed out world. And we don't want to burn out. And a key to not burning out is to take radical self-responsibility for your healing. And shadow work is not comfortable. Of course not, because that's why it's called the shadow. And as a society, we've become so entangled in this weird love and light concept. And love and light is beautiful, but love and light can't exist without the shadow. So instead of just sprinkling love and light all over this thing we call closure, this illusion we call closure, what I'm asking you to do is to dance with your shadows, to get to know the parts of you or the parts of your thoughts or the parts of your emotions, whatever is currently weighing you down, whatever you currently don't have closure on, and yet it still activates you every time it comes up. Look at that. In SomatoEmotional Release therapy, which I use with clients almost every day, we ask people to tell the story exactly how it happened. So there's a whole process to the treatment, but let's say we land in a spot and we say, hey, tell me more about this. And then we personify what we're finding. And then the person says, oh, this is something that showed up when I was 5. And we say, okay, well, does anything pop up for you? Does a story come up for you? And it's like, oh yeah, when I was 5, this thing happened. So when we're doing the dialoguing part of the somato-emotional release, which by the way, doesn't have to happen, doesn't always happen, but when it does, we ask the person, okay, so, tell me a story. And the person will start telling the story. And if we're looking for a completion process, we can then say, okay, and how would you like it to be? And then something really powerful happens because the person reimagines it. They get to retell this story in a way that they would like it to be. And this is not to erase or bypass the pain, but it is to give their nervous system a new reference point. It's like telling your body, hey, we are safe now. We can stop searching for this missing piece. Think about it like this. If you read the Titanic and the last few chapters were missing, some of you would picture Jack and Rose growing old together. Some of you would assume the worst. And some of you would start the great internet debate about whether or not there was room on that damn door. My point here is all truths are true, but all truths are incomplete. Perspective changes the story you tell yourself. So when we go through this process, when you get to give yourself a completion process, what you're basically doing is anchoring in your nervous system, which is your physical body, your inner physician. You're saying, hey, yo, this is the story we're telling now. Then you're telling your warrior, your mental body, here's the story we're going to tell. So the mental body can stop searching for an ending. You are then acknowledging and feeling the emotion. By the way, in the SomatoEmotional Release process, of course, we're processing the emotion and we're creating safe space for it, et cetera, et cetera. But this is not going to be a 2-hour podcast, so here we are. But you are giving space to the emotion. And then your spirit body, your energy body, your soul gets to co-create this experience with you by creating sacred space. So instead of waiting for someone else to give you the ending, why don't we finish it ourselves right now? Let's give your nervous system what it's been looking for without even needing anyone to show up. I've created this process for you and it takes just 2 minutes. You can do it just about anywhere. However, if you're driving, 1, keep your eyes open, obviously. And 2, I'm not sure we really want to mix road rage and sacred rage together, so it could be best to just hit pause and get back to this later. But if you're somewhere safe, you can now close your eyes and let's go there together. Take a few moments to fully land in your space, to land in your body, and take a deep breath in and let it go. And now, in your imagination, picture all the versions of you, your past and your present, standing in a gentle semicircle around you. Yes, even the ones you've tried to forget. They are all there. Your inner child, your inner teenager. Now walk over to the version of you who still carries the weight of that old story. You know the one that's been holding you back, the one that you keep repeating, the one that keeps triggering you. Notice what this version of you is wearing, the look in their eyes. Place your hand over your heart and say to this version of you, I see you. I forgive you. Thank you for getting me here. Let this version of you hear it. Let them believe it. Now, imagine them placing something really, really heavy, a backpack, a box, a stone. They're placing this object on the ground between you. Watch it dissolve into light. Take another deep breath in, feeling that light fill your chest. And as you exhale, you can say, I choose a new story now. Decide what story you want to tell. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Completion is yours anytime you choose it. And that's it, my friend. You don't need to wait for someone else to give you the ending. You just gave it to yourself. That is the beauty of completion. It is yours anytime you decide that a chapter is done. If this process stirred something in you, please be gentle with yourself today. Make sure to drink some water, maybe journal it out. And remember, you are the author here, so you get to write the next page. If you loved this episode, please share it with someone who might need a little reminder that closure isn't the goal, peace and healing is. And if you want more tools like this, you know where to find me. I am all over social media. You can sign up for my email newsletter. And of course, right here on my podcast. And hey, I'm going to be your little sassy bestie for a minute. Stop waiting for someone else to hand you the pen. This is your damn story. Write it messy, write it bold. But for the love of all things holy Pop-Tarts, make it yours. Oh, and P.S., if you're doing my vision program, this episode here is perfect for chapter 3. If you're not doing my vision program, what's wrong with you? Get on it. And a side note, I totally see the irony here of me doing an episode on closure and completion, and I literally just did like 3 closures to this episode. It is not lost upon me how sometimes I am a walking paradox. Until next time. That's it for today, my friend. Thanks for being here. Your weekly reminder that the Zen Diva isn't about sitting still. It's about showing up real, just as you are. If you loved this episode, pass it on to a friend. If it ruffled your feathers, maybe that's exactly what needed to happen today. Either way, subscribe, stay curious, and remember, life is way too short for fake enlightenment and bad coffee. Now go on, go make some magic.